Sam Strong, thank you very much for taking this interview on the Theatre Network.
No, you're welcome.
You're about to direct, or you have been directing, The Power of Yes.
Yes, that is it behind us, yes.
And you've got a few celebrities in the cast. It's a pretty big production.
It is.
David Hare?
Yes, it is. It is a big production, and we've got a cast of 12, so 11 men and one woman, which is slightly smaller than the National Theatre production, which obviously this is the second production of the play. There was a National Theatre production in London sort of late last year and it's just about to close, but that had, I think that had sort of upwards of 20, but there's a cast of 12 playing about, I think it's just over 30 roles.
Wow. And David Hare, I hear he's coming to see.
Yes, yeah, he can't be out here for openings. I think he's covering the British election, but I understand he'll be out here.
Wow, is that exciting for you?
It is very exciting for me. Obviously, Company B has a long history of involvement with David and Neil, particularly directing David's work. I think I was up to the 4th or the 5th show, and obviously with previous verbatim work like Stuff Happens or plays like Gethsemane or Judas Kiss or My Zinc Bed. So there is a long tradition there, and it's lovely. Yeah, it's a great privilege to be the next step in that tradition.
At last, in comes the government, putting money into all the banks. The Treasury's commitment to the free market had lasted precisely one day. At the beginning of the week, it could have dispatched its troubles by spending a few billion. By the end of the week, it's spending 700. And overnight, the U.S. is a socialist country. It owns its banks. Having claimed all the benefits of the free market, all the advantages not least for themselves, the bankers go running to the government saying, give us some money. Gee whiz, you have to give us some money or we're going to go bankrupt. And if we go bankrupt, we're going to drag everyone down with us.
How many plays have you directed so far in your life?
Do you know what, that's a very good question. I haven't actually done a count recently.
That many, huh?
No, it's not that many. Hundreds, no. Probably 15, I think, roughly.
You're doing pretty well.
I'd have to do a count.
You're up to your 15th and it's already in Belvoir.
Yeah, so this is my second main stage gig. So my main stage debut was at Melbourne Theatre Company a couple of months ago. A play called Madagascar, a contemporary American play by J.T. Rogers. So that was on earlier in the year, and this is my Sydney main stage debut. How
do you feel working with people who have got quite a CV?
Yes. Oh, look, it's very exciting working with people with a CV, and it makes my job infinitely easier to be able to work with a cast of the kind of calibre and experience of the cast that I've got. So that's a kind of, I'm very fortunate to have that cast, and it's a for a cast of that size, it's great that we have such a kind of harmonious ensemble, and to have a room in a play that is about kind of competition and ego, that is kind of free of competition and ego, is a lovely thing and makes my job kind of infinitely easier.
Are they compliant, or is it easier to control people who have a smaller CV, perhaps?
No. I think the
experienced
level of compliance or otherwise has no relationship to I think people's experience. No, and look, I think it's been a lovely room, and obviously there are particular challenges of working on a scale of 12 people, and particularly in that we've cut the space down slightly, so we're working not just on a small stage but on a smaller stage with a larger number of people than are normally on that stage. So that presents kind of particular logistical and staging challenges, but they're more exciting challenges than overwhelming challenges.
I'm not completely familiar with the show, but why is the stage all covered with burst balloons?
Oh, that's actually secret, so I have to edit that one out for anyone. It's going to open eventually.
Right. Well, this won't be published until.
Look, there's a sort of variety of reasons for that. Dale Ferguson, who designed the show, and we talked a lot about finding ways of representing scale on stage, because there is various references in this play to the enormity of the crisis, and whether that's wasting $6 trillion or whatever that is. So ways of putting a lot of something and of seeing a lot of something on stage. So that was one sort of rationale. And then there's obviously the sort of various sort of metaphorical readings, or whether it's the end of a party or the bursting of a bubble. They're the kind of obvious ones, but there's also some particular tricks that I can't give away here, but we use balloons, blowing up or otherwise, in a variety of ways within the show, as a way of kind of, this is a story that, while the way that the Power of Yes treats it is unique, this is a story that you can go to other mediums to find out about as well. So we kind of wanted to tap into how we can tell this story kind of in a way that's unique to this space and unique to the kind of theatrical medium in which we're representing it.
Speaking about directing in general, a lot of the people on my website are actors and performers.
Yep.
So I was just wondering if you would like to give them some advice about how to impress a director and how to not behave in front of a director.
Look, I don't know if I'm qualified to give that form of advice, or whether I should be talking direct to camera when I give it. Probably not. But look, I think my experience of auditioning is that one of the things that you're looking for in an audition, as well as obviously the kind of technical skill of someone to play the role, is whether or not you can get on with someone, and whether or not you can imagine working with them. So kind of being yourself, not attempting to be anything. I mean, it's kind of it's the most trite, boring advice in the world. So sorry to give the most trite, boring advice in the world. But yeah, in a way, audition is about assessing your capacity to work together. And if as an actor you're not feeling that that's possible, then you probably should trust that instinct and not do it. So that would be my advice.
So overall, the actor doesn't have the full perspective like the director does. They might be making choices that seem right, but you have a bigger picture in your mind, and you're really the painter.
Yeah, I think so, and it is very difficult, particularly on stage, obviously, to have an understanding of what the thing, even just what the thing looks like from the outside, and your subjective feelings on stage can be quite different to what you might call the kind of objective experience that we're attempting to create from the outside. So I think a lot of the best actors are ones who are able to combine whatever they're doing on stage with a kind of macro eye for what's going on.
In the past few years, the banking system has been off God knows where, doing God knows what. I suppose what offends me most is the sense of waste. I can see we have to prop up some of these bankers' mistakes. That's what we have to do. What's difficult to swallow is we just wasted $6 trillion doing it.